So we recently got a question regarding whether to choose the Cybex Balios or the Joolz Hub 2 for rural life as well as trips to the city. And if I were to choose from only these two specifically for this situation, my basic breakdown is as follows, where the Hub 2 has definite advantages when it comes to lighter weight, 9.3 versus 11.7 kilos on the Balios, and more compact folded dimensions, 66.5 by 52.5 by 29 centimeters versus 77.5 by 60 by 45. That, in addition to stuff like preserving trunk space and making it easier to negotiate narrow doorways, also makes the Hub 2 much more practical to carry, either by its shoulder strap or by a protruding crossbar that doesn't cause a seat to awkwardly fold open as it does on the Balios. In addition, the Hub 2 also has advantages in a slightly taller backboard, 56 versus 54 centimeters, more ventilation via mesh windows in the seat back beneath a removable liner, and an overall better manufactured feel in my opinion, with more precisely fitted components, while the Balios by contrast has a few places where it's loose right out of the box, such as the handle and the seat frame's connection to the chassis. On the negative side, I'd note that the Hub 2's lighter weight does come at the cost of a slighter and thus somewhat weaker build overall, with slimmer bars and less substantial connection points, while in addition, its wheels are also smaller, 6.5 inches in the front and 8 in the back versus 7 and 10.5 on the Balios, and its suspension is a lot stiffer, making it much more jittery, especially when driving off-road or over stuff like old-style cobblestones, where regular use in such conditions will cause its slighter chassis to loosen quicker than with the Balios. And as a result then of being both stronger and more terrain capable, the truth is that I generally lean a bit more towards the Balios for the situation the viewer described, despite its being a little larger and heavier, just so you don't get caught out with a model that isn't capable of handling some of the rougher situations one might encounter when living in rural conditions. Where in addition to its structural and performance advantages, the Balios also has bonuses in a slightly larger and more accessible shopping basket, and the fact that it's half the price, only around $500 versus over $1,000 with the Hub 2. Note that there are other factors to consider though that weren't included in the viewer's comment, which can be important when choosing between these two, such as how much one uses a car to get around, but these are my basic thoughts in any case. If any of you would like to explore these models further, I've linked both of our in-depth reviews for them in the description, and I've also included a link to the buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. Thanks for watching.